Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I decided that I wanted to vlog me reading this new series. I'm really excited because this has been something that's been on my TBR for forever. And I feel like such a fraud too because I feel like everyone's read it and it's such like a fan favorite, but it is A Court of Thorns and Roses. This series has been on my TBR for so long. And I figured I knew that with Christmas break coming up, I'm going to be off of school for a month because I just got done with finals. Thank God. And I knew that I wanted to have a series set and ready to go because I always get the most reading done over winter break. And so I was like, why not ask for a series for my birthday? Because my birthday is the first week of December. So I was like, boom, once finals are done, got it ready to go. I'm really scared because I know like everyone loves this series and everybody raves about it, and I'm kind of scared to start it because I know I'm gonna love it, but I'm like, what if it doesn't live up to the hype? But I also really don't have any expectations other than that it's supposed to be really good and that it's fantasy, like romantasy. So this one really scares me. And I think too, like, if I end up loving this series, I do think I want to try and tackle Throne of Glass. But I'm like, I figure that this would be better to start with because it's only 5 books. And I feel like I can do this. So I'm going to take you guys along with me and document my thoughts and stuff because I've heard that this series, like, gets crazy. So get ready for the ride. Okay, so I am going to start this tonight. I work tonight and I'm probably going to be slow. So I'm going to try and at least start this tonight. My goal is to read at least 20 pages, which I think I can do because the book, let's see how many, I always like to see how many pages are in the book. 409, oh, that's the acknowledgements. 416, that's not bad. I think I can easily start this. Maybe I could try and finish it this week because today is, what? Today is Thursday, December 12th. Okay, I probably couldn't finish this by Sunday, but maybe by Monday I'll try and have this done. I'm so nervous. We're gonna see how far I get in this tonight, and then if I do get like a decent chunk of the way, I will try and remember to vlog after I get off of work, but I'm not making any promises. I'm so excited. It is officially the next day. I made it to, let me see. Hello. I made it to page 102. I don't really have any thoughts. Nothing much has really happened. It's kind of giving me like Beauty and the Beast vibes, but it's not like what I expected at all. I literally don't have school for the rest of the month, so I'm just gonna be reading today. I got my book and my beats. I love these because I will just put on like white noise and just go and read. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Okay, so I have some thoughts. It is now Sunday. I don't even know the 15th. And I started this series on Thursday. Okay. So I finished this last night at work. I have some thoughts. I did not love this book. I'm sorry. I think, what is going on? Hello? Okay, is that better? I don't know. Okay. So I finished this book last night at work. And I did not love it. I'm sorry. I gave this 3.75 stars on Goodreads. Because here's the thing. The second half of the book was really good. The first half, it wasn't bad, but like reading it, I was like, this is what people are hyping up. This is a series that has everybody like by the throat. Because I don't think we read the same book. I'm sorry. And I know everybody loves this series, but like, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Had I not already been gifted the box set, like with all 5 books, and had I just bought this by itself, not the other 4 books, I probably wouldn't be picking up the rest of the series, if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, honestly, I probably would have read it eventually because if I read the first book in a series, I have to read the other ones. It's a disease. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's what it is. But like, I definitely wouldn't be reaching for the second one anytime soon. I don't know. I just didn't love it. And especially too, like the last half of the book, well, as good and action-packed as it was, I was like, where was this energy throughout the whole book? And it's so hard too, because I'm like, I get it. With 400 pages, you can't jump into the action and the plot and the secrets and all of that within the first 100 pages. I get that. But holy shit, did it move so slow. Excuse my language. Now, let me give you a little premise about the book, because I did not really know what I was going into. All I knew was that, like, it's a romantasy. That's it. So, I'm going to try not to laugh and giggle at myself. So, there's this girl. Her name is Feyre. I believe is how you pronounce it. That's one thing that I hate about fantasy books, is why are all the names, like, gibberish? I can't pronounce them. So, sorry if I butcher any. The main character's name is Feyre, and she's a human, right? And so you have two types of people in this world. You have humans and you have fairies, right? And they had a war many years ago, and a treaty was made, okay? And basically that states that, like, fairies cannot hurt humans and humans cannot hurt fairies. And basically, if that does happen, a life needs to be taken for a life, if that makes any sense. So, like, if a fairy hurts a human, a fairy's life needs to be taken. And if a human hurts a fairy, a human's life needs to be taken. Got it? And so Feyre, she lives in this very, like, small village right next to this wall, okay? And the wall separates the human world from the fairy world, okay? Feyre, in the beginning, it was giving very much like Hunger Games vibes, because she's the youngest of three girls, and her dad is a sole provider, but there's issues going on with him. And so, like, not the sole provider, he's the sole adult. But Feyre is the youngest of three girls, and she is, like, providing for them. Like, she's going out in the woods, she's hunting, she's bringing home the bread. She's a breadwinner. One day she's out in the woods, she sees this deer. She kills the wolf and then kills the deer. And the wolf, she does not know at the time. Well, she kind of did. She kind of did. The wolf ended up being a fairy in disguise. Sounds so stupid. Anyways, so after what I've told you, you know that, like, humans cannot kill fairies, okay? And even though she technically didn't know, she did. So anyways, she kills the wolf, right? Brings the deer back home, whatever. Somebody comes knocking on her door. And guess who? It's a fairy. And he is pissed because the wolf that she killed was his BFF. And he's like, hey, bitch. Oh, he's like, hey, girl, you're coming with me. And she's like, me? He's like, yeah. He's like, you're coming with me. He's like, even though I'm supposed to kill you, like, that's not how I roll. So you're just going to come live with me in my palace. This is where, like I was saying, like, it's giving Beauty and the Beast, right? Then basically she's, like, living with him, and she's like, oh my God, like, I hate him. And then she's like, wait, I kind of like him. And basically then a lot of other stuff happens, but, like, that's as much as I can tell you about it without spoiling it. Anyways, like I said, the first, like, 150 pages, it wasn't excruciating to get through. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God. Like, I didn't feel like slamming my head against a wall. Because, you know, some books, like, they are that slow in the beginning. This one wasn't. But it just wasn't, like, grabbing me, you know? Like, I had no problem putting this book down. Absolutely no problem. And the way that people hyped this up, I thought, like, the second I started, I would have to finish it in one night. No. But anyways, so overall, wasn't terrible, but I wasn't wowed, okay? Now moving on to A Court of Mist and Fury. I am excited for this one, because out of all the books in this series, other than this one, I hear about this one the most. And I hear that this is a fan favorite, so I'm really excited. She's thick, though. She's over 600 pages. Oh! I got to chapter 6. Oh, don't mind my Taylor Swift bookmark. I got to chapter 6. So I got about 56 pages in, which isn't bad. I was hoping to get to 100, but that didn't happen because I got busy watching Survivor at work. Anyways, I need to figure out how to add the screenshot in here. I literally, starting at chapter 4, I made a prediction and I was 100% right. It is going to be a spoiler though, so cover your ears or fast forward if you haven't read this. So this book starts off with the main characters, Feyre and Tamlin. They're gonna be married, okay? And if you read the first book, you know that there's this character that Feyre makes this deal with this character, Rysand. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it, okay? She's just trying to make me look like a fool. I'm gonna say Rysand. That's how it looks. That's how I'm saying it. Feyre makes this deal with Rysand that basically for the rest of her life, she has to spend 1 week a month with him because he helped save her and stuff. And so, but in the beginning of this book though, he hadn't cashed in on the deal yet. And it had been like 3 months. And I was like, you know what I bet he's going to do? I bet he's going to show up at their wedding. Like he's going to storm and be like, I object. Or like something like that. Because for whatever reason, I don't like him. But for whatever reason, I definitely think he and Feyre are going to be endgame. And okay, if we're talking about thoughts right now, I don't love Tamlin. I just low-key giving like, I don't know. I was about to say Jeremiah in The Summer I Turned Pretty, but I don't think that's a very nice comparison. That would be mean to Tamlin. That would. Anyways, I don't know how I feel about this love triangle. Because I know they're gonna make it a love triangle. They're gonna make it a love triangle, of course. So I just hate them. Ugh. I'm done. But anyways, I need to stop yapping. But that's all the thoughts that I really have right now. Oh, I left them upstairs. I literally wrote them down. There's this character. Again, I'm gonna butcher it. Ianthe. Ianthe. I don't like her. I don't trust her. She's giving fake energy. She's giving Tamlin's girl best friend, but like the one that you have to be like cautious about because like she's a little too friendly with him is the vibe that I'm getting from her. And I think the other thought was that I don't love Tamlin. He doesn't seem to have a backbone. And I don't like when like the male main characters like treat the female main characters like they're made of glass. Like it's cute for like a chapter and then it's like, okay, bud. Okay. Wrap it up. Especially after all she did for him in this book. Girl. Come on. Anyways, that's my thoughts for now. Thank you for watching. I'm recording this before I leave for work, but I'm about a third of the way through A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm loving it. But I hate Tamlin. Bye. Thank God he's gone. Oh my God. I cannot. I've never felt such peace now that he's like not in the book. And I hope he doesn't come back. Ooh. I am in fact Tamlin's biggest hater. I just can't stand him. Okay, so I'm about 2/3 of the way through the book, if you can. Maybe not. Maybe like a little over halfway. And it's getting really, really good. But the one thing that I'm like kind of have an issue with. So it's so hard to do like a vlog and like review without like spoiling anything. But I'm trying to do like tiny spoils because it's really, really, really hard to talk about something without like giving something away. But so in this book, in the first book, Tamlin, in the first book, Feyre was staying with Tamlin. In this book, she decides to live elsewhere for a lot of reasons. Oh my God, there's my dog in the back. He's a diva. Anyways, so she decides to leave for a number of reasons. But basically the way that she left, it's like if Tamlin were to like, I don't know, like try and like get her back and like take her back to his house with, like it just wouldn't work. Like he can't go and grab her and be like, you're coming with me, because there's a lot of stuff going on and like there'd be a lot of consequences for him. But the thing that irks me is it's like, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't even tried to have a conversation with her. And the thing that I hate about, I feel like in this book, while I totally think that Feyre and Rysand are a much better fit than Feyre and Tamlin, you cannot tell me that Feyre and Tamlin were not in love with each other in the first book, especially after everything that the both of them went, like the lengths that they went to for each other. You can't tell me that they weren't in love. And I feel like in this book, they're trying to make it seem like it was like, oh, this like casual thing. And it was not. It was not at all. And I just feel like in order for me to be fully excited about like Feyre and Rysand, like I need the closure with Feyre and Tamlin. And Feyre was just kind of like, bye, I'm leaving, don't ask any questions, don't follow me. And he was just kind of like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. And like, well, I totally understand why she left. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have left. I'm not saying I don't get it. I totally do. But it's just the fact that it's like, he was so like okay with it, because I don't know, like he's not necessarily a fighter, but he's also like, when it comes to Feyre, he kind of is though. I don't know. And then like reading this book, I'm like, okay, did we really know Tamlin that well at all? Because now I'm starting to think that I didn't. I don't know. I just think it's weird that like he just kind of let her go and just didn't say anything about it. Like, that's kind of weird. I don't know. But it is getting good. Also, one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about these books is, so like the Court of Thorns and Roses series is like known to be like, it's a known romantasy. So there's a lot more romance and stuff. And the way that people were talking about these books, I thought that like they just made them seem like they were rated R. Nothing's happened. And this is still probably my favorite book so far. And listen, I'm not complaining, but it's like people were making this seem like I was gonna need to like, I don't know. But they were just making it seem like these books were gonna be crazy. They're not. Maybe I'm speaking too soon, because I guess there are like 2 more books and then like a little like novella or like epilogue after this, but I don't know. I fear that people were hyping these books up in more ways than one. But yeah, so let me see what chapter I'm on actually. 372. What page, excuse me. I'm on 372. I'd like to get to like 450. That would be the goal for tonight. I was about to say page 400, but I'm like, that's literally 20 pages. I will say the one thing that I do like about this book so far is, even though it's 600 pages, I don't feel like, it doesn't feel long. Because like in comparison, if you've read Iron Flame, which is like part of the Fourth Wing series, that book was I think it was about 600 pages. And let me tell you what, I could feel every single page that I read. Like, woo, it dragged on. This book is so like entertaining, and it's not even necessarily that fast paced, but it's just so entertaining. And I'm like, I feel like I've read like 100 pages. I love when long books, like I love long books that don't feel long when you're reading them. So anyways, that was a lot, but that's kind of all I got for now. So yeah. So I just finished this book at work tonight. I get it. I get the hype now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Starting this book, I had heard that this was like the fan favorite, that a lot of people really liked the second book. But after reading the first, I was like, I don't get the hype. Like, yeah, it's a good book, but like, I'm not getting it. After finishing this, I get it. This was 5 stars. Oh my God, you guys. This was insane. I'm not kidding you. Like the last 70 to 80 pages, it was twist after twist after twist after twist. I'm not kidding you. I was reading this at work and I was literally like, my jaw was on the floor, because just when you thought it couldn't get worse, oh, it did. Oh, I will say though, because I know like the last clip I recorded, I was maybe about like 300 pages in, 300, 400 pages in, and I had said that I started to kind of feel bad for Tamlin low-key because like there wasn't really any closure between him and Feyre. I take back everything that I said about Tamlin. I hope he rots in hell. I hate him. Tamlin's number one biggest hater right here. And I didn't even like him that much going into this book, but the first 100 pages I was like, bye. And I thought that was bad. I thought the way he was treating Feyre in the first 100 pages was bad. I didn't even know the half of it. I didn't even know the half of it. I just like, oh, nothing that he does in the future will ever make me forgive him. What he did at the end of this book was unforgivable. Like, there is no redemption arc big enough for Tamlin. I don't care. I hope that he dies a very long and painful death. But I will say, also about halfway through this book, I was like, I don't know how I feel about Rhysand and Feyre because I feel like she hadn't really wrapped things up with Tamlin. Even before, like, okay, so like, I would say about like this, right? Like, this is the end of the book. This is like all the awful shit that Tamlin did. And then it was about here that I was like, wait, I'm starting to like Rhysand and Feyre. Like, I already liked them, but like the conversations that they had, it was like, oh, it's so much more than like what you think it is. And I just love Rhysand and Feyre because they communicate. That was my biggest pet peeve with Feyre and Tamlin, is that like they would not talk to each other. And then like whenever she tried to talk to Tamlin, he'd be like, no, stop, don't talk to me. That was literally Tamlin to Feyre every time she tried to open her mouth, and it was like, oh. But what I will say, the thing that makes me so upset about Tamlin's actions is it's like, I know it's gonna heavily affect Lucien and Feyre's friendship, which makes me so upset because I loved their friendship so much. Like, genuinely, I love their kind of like bickering, like brother-sister vibes, and I just hate it because even though like Lucien is not responsible for Tamlin, he let Tamlin make all these awful decisions. And like, for me, I'm like, no. And again, Tamlin is his own person that Lucien is not responsible for. Like, they're literally like centuries old. Like, Lucien is not his babysitter, but at the same time, like, I feel like he could have stopped it if he wanted to, and he didn't. Because it makes me mad, but like, in my opinion, I think like Lucien lets Tamlin walk all over him. Oh! But what I will say I'm excited for is the third book. The third book is gonna be insane, and I can't wait to read it. But I do really hope that Lucien has a redemption arc, because for me, I think Lucien's heart has always lied in a really good place. Like, I feel like Lucien has always had great intentions, and he has wanted the best for Feyre, and he's wanted what she has wanted, you know? Like, he's wanted what's best for her, whereas it's like Tamlin wanted what's best for him, you know, or what he thought was best for her. But it's like Lucien actually like listened to what Feyre was saying and was like, oh, let's do what she said. So I'm really hoping that he can do some groveling and he can get back in my good graces, because I really do like him as a character, and that made me really sad. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. This probably has actually been my favorite read this whole year, and I'm so excited to start. What is the next one? Oh my god. A Court of Wings and Ruin. I'm so excited to start this. I want to see how many pages are in it though, because she big or whatever. 699 pages. I genuinely don't think I've read a book this big since like Deathly Hallows. But okay, before I get started on this book, the one thing I do want to say, this book is about 620 pages, I think. This was really intimidating to me. She's a big boy. I will say, this did not feel like I read 600 pages. It did feel like I read a lot, but not in a bad way. Because, like, I want to compare this to, like, Iron Flame in the sense of, like, they're both about 600 pages. With Iron Flame, as much as I love the Fourth Wing series, I felt every single page, sentence, word, paragraph of that book because woo, it was moving at sloth speed, okay? This book, so good. I will say about the first 100 pages, it's kind of like, okay. It's not bad. It's not hard to get through, but you're just like, with the way that the last book ended, the beginning of this one was kind of like, it was just kind of like, okay, like, where's the action? Where's the drama? And then you get, like, maybe it honestly might even be after, like, 50 pages, and the drama starts, and you're like, yep. Yep, this is why I picked this up. Yep. Anyways, I'm so excited. This was amazing, and I'm so excited to read this. That's all for now. Okay, I feel bad because I'm about 234 pages in, and I don't really have much to say. Like, I don't know what it is about her books. It's like a lot has happened, but also at the same time, like, nothing. Like, nothing crazy has happened so far, and it's kind of starting to get to the point where I'm like, I'm getting a little bored. I will say one thing that irritates me so much is the overuse of the word mate. Stop it. It's like, it's basically like their version of babe. They're like, my mate, my mate. You can just say their name. You can just say their name. The fuck? Like, it gives me the ick. Because, okay. So, like, in, like, the, like, Prithian or whatever, there's mating bonds. So, like, if you are a mate with somebody, you don't have to, I don't think you have to be with them, but, like, it's just kind of random, and it's, like, you have this, like, special bond, or, like, whatever. And there are a couple talked about in this book, and, oh my god. It's like, it's just irritating because it's like now, like, once the mating bonds have been revealed, it's like all they say is mate. Like, my mate. Shut up. What if you shut up? What if you shut your mouth? I don't know why it's irritating me, but it just is, okay? So that's really all the updates that I have right now. And again, too, it's like, since I'm on the third book, like, there's really nothing that I can tell you because it would spoil it. The beginning of this was unbearable. Yuck. Just because of one of the characters. Just because of Tamlin. Oh! Just because I hate him. I know. But I'm like, I would say, like, the first 150 pages, yeah, it was, like, drama. Which I love. But now it's slowing down. I can feel the gears resting. Like, that's what it's like. So I'm just hoping that it picks up. And yeah. Also, again, I can't, like, well, this isn't a spoiler, but, like, Feyre's sisters are in this book. And I actually really like Nesta. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm gonna kind of grow to like her. She is very icy and, like, is giving off bitchy energy for sure. But, like, I just feel like we're definitely gonna see more of her, and it's gonna be really good. Like, I think that I'm gonna like her a lot. But in the first book, yuck. I was like, oh, girl. But now I think I'm gonna... I mean, we really haven't seen much of them at all, honestly, but... I'm really excited, but I want, like, I want the drama, I want the action to be starting, and it, like, hasn't. So anyways, that's all for now. My goal, okay, since I'm at 234 and I work tonight, I'd like to hit at least 380. That's like 50, that's less than 50 pages. I think I can do that. Ideally, I'd love to get to, like, 400, but that might be a little ambitious. Anyways, that's all for now. I keep forgetting to do a vlog because this book has low-key kind of put me in a slump. Oh, but I just finished the part where they had the meeting with like all the High Lords and stuff, and obviously I can't tell you like what's going on, but I'm so mad. I thought like Feyre was gonna go in and rock Tamlin's shit, and she didn't. That was really disappointing to me because like he said a lot of like nasty stuff to both her and Rysand, and like they didn't do anything. It's kind of like, what? And it was like all like he was just talking out of his ass, like he had no idea what he was talking about. It's like, oh, okay, that's basically where I'm at right now. I'm on chapter 47 on page 447 out of 700. So I still have like 250 more pages to go. It's weird because a lot has happened, but also not a lot at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like right now I would put this book at like a 3.5 stars. Maybe 3.75, because I think I rated the first book 3.5, and this is definitely better than the first book, but I don't know. We'll see. Hi. The lighting is atrocious, but we're working with what we've got. So I finally finished this tonight at work. Read over like 200 pages. One thing about Sarah J. Maas is she's gonna cram the most plot twists in the last 90 pages of the book. And listen, do I love the shock value? Yes. But then it's like, what were we doing for the last 600 pages? Here's my thing about this book. Was it good? Yeah, it's good. Was it better than A Court of Mist and Fury? No. No. I just don't feel like this book needed to be as long as it was, and I just kind of didn't care. This definitely took me the longest to read. I just wasn't that interested, and I'm sorry, but like, okay, so again, without telling you too much, one of my favorite characters in this book, or in this series, has become Moore. Her name's Morgan, but everybody calls her Moore. And this is not like a huge spoiler, or because you'll like, if you read the second book, there's another character named Azriel who I love him, and he and Moore kind of have this like flirty, like will they won't they type of relationship, and it's like, I don't know, it's giving like when you have a crush on somebody in middle school but you avoid them at all costs and you will never admit your feelings. That's kind of what the relationship between Moore and Azriel is giving, which is so annoying. And the thing is it's like literally anyone who has eyes knows that Azriel likes Moore, but Moore is kind of giving the vibes of like, oh, I'm just like stringing him along, like I'm not actually gonna have that hard conversation with him. And it's just kind of irritating because it's like, I don't know, like it just makes me question. I'm like, okay, like do I actually then know this character? Because I feel like everything that I've read and like everything that she's done totally contradicts her behavior in regards to Azriel. It's like the girl that I was reading about like 600 pages ago doesn't seem like the type of girl that would be stringing somebody along. I don't know. I wasn't wowed by this. I think I gave this like a 4.25 stars. But honestly, I think I'd give this a solid 4. I think I'd give this a 4.25. I think it's one of those where I need to let it simmer, but that's kind of my rating right now. And then the next one I'm going to be reading is the novella. It's what is it? Hello. It is called A Court of Frost and Starlight. It's a little novella. It's really skinny. Let me see if I can. Oh my god. Hello. This. Ta-da. I don't know. I'm definitely feeling myself getting burnt out. Like, this was really hard for me to get through. I'm not gonna lie. It just kind of felt like a lot of like blah, 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 blah. It's kind of what it felt like. And then at the end, it was like boom, 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 boom. And you're like, can we not? So I've read 3 books of hers so far. And this has happened in every single one of them. And I'm sensing a theme. She likes to bombard the last 100 to 50 pages of her book with twist after twist after twist after twist after twist. And I think I already said this earlier. I love the shock value, but like, where was this pacing throughout the rest of the book? And it's kind of getting old. It's kind of getting old. So that's really all I gotta say right now. Okay, so I'm currently reading A Court of Silver Flames. I am on page 142. I'm really liking it so far. I honestly feel like this might be my favorite. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I read, so there's like a novella in between. It's like A Court of Frost and Starlight or something. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I skimmed that shit. I'm so sorry. I just wasn't in the mood because I can feel myself. Not that the series isn't good, but I'm ready to be done. Do you know what I mean? Like, it has been a lot of reading. I've enjoyed it, but I'm ready to be done. And I just wasn't looking for the fluff, which is like what the novella is. And I'm sure that it is great, but I'm like, girl, I'm really trying to get this done before New Year's. What is today? Today's the 30th. So I basically have today and tomorrow to finish this. I think I could do it, honestly. I think I could. But yeah. Okay, so this book, I did not know, like, when I started the entire series, this is not about the main characters that we've read about for like the past 3 books. Like, they're not like completely new characters, but so the first 3 books, the main character, it's pretty much, I think it's all in like first person. I don't really notice it that much, but it's all from like Feyre's point of view, which is the main character. And it's kind of about her relationships and da-da-da-da. But this book is about her sister, Nesta, who, I'm sorry, I love her. She comes off as a completely like cold-hearted bitch. But I just know that there's more to her. And that's why I like her, because like, you just know with this book, like, you're gonna get to know so much more about her. But I also want to know more about Elaine, because okay, in the book, Feyre, she's the youngest of 3 girls. So there's Nesta is the oldest, and then Elaine is the middle. And everyone kind of hates Nesta because she comes off like, she definitely rubs people the wrong way, and she doesn't care. She don't get. But in this book, I'm really excited to see, just because like, that, like, of course it'd be easy if she was just like a cold-hearted bitch, but like, I'm not saying that she isn't, but like, there has to be more to it than that. So I'm excited because I think we're gonna figure it out in this book. And then also too, you get it's about another character as well who's like a friend of Rysand's. His name is Cassian, and I know that there's gonna be a romance between those two, and I'm excited. I'm excited because it's giving enemies to lovers. Like, they both hate each other. So I'm really excited. My goal for today, honestly, I'd love to get halfway through it, if I'm being honest, which I think I can do. But this is the longest book so far. It's 730 pages. My goal for tonight would be to at least get to 350. Preferably, like, at least 350 or 400. We'll see. We'll see if that happens or not. But I'm really determined to finish this series before the year is over. So, we'll see. Okay, so it is currently December 31st, and my goal was to have this series finished before the year was over. And I finished this last night at work. I should have taken a picture of it, but I started at 271 when I'd gotten to work. So, because I vlogged yesterday and I was around like page 100 something. Then after I filmed that, I read about 100 more pages, went to work, started on 271, and then finished the book at 751 pages. So I read over like probably like 600 pages yesterday, which I'm really proud of. This, hands down, was my favorite book of the series. I said in my review on Goodreads, if I could give this book 6 stars, I would. And this honestly might be my favorite book of the year. This was so good. I was really, really nervous because this book is not about, well, one, it's like third person, which I don't know. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is embarrassing to admit, sometimes third person trips me up a little bit, okay? Not saying that I can't read it, not saying that it's not a struggle, but sometimes I'm like, wait, whoa, whoa. Like, it takes me a second to figure out what's going on. And so this book focuses on Feyre's older sister, Nesta, who I love. And I loved her before this book because I knew, so she comes off very not well. Like, she comes off like an ice queen, basically. And is just like very rude, very blunt, very honest, does not give a flying fart what anyone thinks of her, okay? And she just rubs people the wrong way. And she's kind of painted not as like the villain, but she's, I don't even want to say a villain, but she's definitely painted as an unlikable character. Like, you're not supposed to root for her. You're not supposed to cheer for her when she's brought into the scene. Like, you're supposed to dislike her. And I'm like, that's too easy. Like, there has to be more to her than that. And I feel like within the first 3 books, you don't get to know a lot about Feyre's sisters, Nesta and Elaine. I don't know. And I was just really excited to get to know more about her because I'm like, it'd be way too easy if she was just mean to be mean, you know? But obviously she's not. And so we got to learn a lot more about her in this book, and I love it. This one was definitely the steamiest, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you are wanting the romance and the steam, this book is gonna do it for you. I really enjoyed this book so much because it's like enemies to lovers, forced proximity, kind of like friends with benefits type of situation. And like, I don't know, but it was also really, really frustrating because I think one of Nesta's biggest issues is like, I feel like a lot of her issues were just because of like miscommunicating. Like, she wasn't letting people know what was going on. And it was really frustrating, I'm not gonna lie, around like page like 300 or 400 because she just kept making wrong decision after wrong decision after wrong decision. And it really, really sucked because eventually, like, she did redeem herself, but it just sucked because I felt like every time she started to get better, and I'm like, okay, and like, it seemed like she was working through her stuff, and like, okay, maybe she's let down the ice queen exterior a little bit. She'd do something, and you'd be like, oh, like, and like, you'd be back to square one. You're like, oh my gosh. So, yeah. The one thing that I loved about this book the most was I feel like this was the most evenly paced book out of all of the ones that I've read of hers so far. Like, this had me gripped from the first 50 pages. I was super intrigued, and I don't know if it was because we're like getting to know characters, we're getting to know the side characters more. I don't know if it was because of that. I don't know, but I feel like this was evenly paced, and that's what I really, really liked about it, because I feel like all of her other books, they don't get really good until like you're halfway through the book, which is kind of like, girl. And not saying that the first half of her books aren't good, but you're not like, you're not like, wow, amazing, or at least I wasn't. Like, it's, yeah. So I don't know. I really, really love this series though, and I'm so glad that I gave it a shot. The thing with this series is, I would say, if you're in the mood for a series, I would say absolutely read it. If it's been on your TBR for a while, I would say though, I know it's hard, but like, go in with as low expectations as possible. The first book, it's so hit or miss for people, and I will say, if you read the first book and you're kind of like, nah, or like, I don't know, read the second book, please. Okay? But all in all, I really, really did love this series, and I'm excited for the 6th book to come out, and I will be doing reading updates. But I hope you enjoyed the vlog. And yeah, I would say give it a shot, honestly. I really did enjoy myself. It's just, they're long books. It is time consuming. So make sure that you have time set aside and know that you're probably not going to knock it out in like a week. This took me like, I think 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks to read. So, which isn't bad. Anyways, thank you for watching.